Hey everyone, I've been using the new iPhone 17 Pro Max for the past 48 hours, and in this video, I want to share some of my early thoughts on this device. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the design of this device. It's a brand new design, and it's one of the most interesting and unique iPhones we've seen in years. It not only looks different from every other iPhone, but also feels different as well, especially for a Pro iPhone. Gone is a titanium and all glass back. This time we have this ceramic shield glass plate, as well as a unibody aluminum build. And this is definitely a big phone and also a thick one as well, but in daily usage it doesn't really feel that much bigger or thicker than the previous 16 Pro Max. And because it's all aluminum, it doesn't really feel that heavy either. It feels about the same weight as the 16 Pro Max, but just a little bit larger overall. And of course, as you can see, you definitely can't miss it. I do have the orange model here, and it looks a lot better in person, I have to say. The orange is quite vibrant, but it looks really good, honestly. The aluminum part is definitely darker than this like ceramic glass plate, which is a bit lighter, and the two-tone look actually looks pretty nice. I don't really know if this orange color is the right one for me long term. I think the silver and white model is the one for me, but the dark blue one also looks really good as well. And if you don't like any of these colors, which I know a lot of people are a bit conflicted on the color choices this year, try to hold off until the spring of the coming year because they might release like a special edition spring model like they have in the past. People have really wanted more bold iPhone colors in the Pro lineup, and Apple definitely went crazy on this. Trust me, it looks much better in person. Now, the large camera bump here has definitely been kind of a polarizing design feature for many people, but actually using it for the past few days, I truly don't mind it. I got over it very quickly, and one of the unintentional benefits is that it doesn't really rock around in a table as much when it's laying flat on a surface than the previous 16 Pro Max. Now, it's not perfect, unlike the Pixel where it's like a completely flat back over here. There's still these little camera bumps, but if you're typing on a table, it's not going to really rock around as much. You also, of course, still have that action button, which is fully customizable for various tasks, as well as the camera control button. And speaking of buttons, all the buttons on this device feel really nice and tactile. Maybe it's because it's a brand new phone, but they feel like really great on this device. I also think the speakers sound a bit louder on this device than the previous 16 Pro Max. You have a larger top speaker grill and extra holes at the bottom. Just from my testing, it's a little bit louder for music and just watching videos. Now, one thing that's brand new that definitely was a bit surprising for me was this phone is all eSIM, at least here in Canada, the US, and a few other markets as well. Now, I was a bit scared. I've had my SIM card for like 15 years, maybe longer, so I was a little bit concerned to switch to an eSIM, but on my previous device, it was like one button tap, you just convert it into an eSIM, and then you're able to just transfer it over with a couple taps as well, and the phone is now eSIM compatible. Super easy, not really a big deal at all, and one of the benefits of having no SIM card is you actually get more battery capacity on an eSIM model than a non-eSIM model, so if you're in one of those markets, you're super lucky, I guess. I gotta talk about the display on this device as well, as it is quite an upgrade. The bezels aren't actually any thinner than the previous iPhone, they're still about the same, which is also very thin, but the actual panel itself goes up to 3000 nits of brightness outdoors, so it gets very bright. Gone are the days of not being able to see your phone outside. This phone definitely solves that problem. Now, there are brighter displays out there, but this is quite a bright panel. Now, one of the biggest additions for this display is a much improved anti-reflective coating. Now, a lot of Android phones have had this feature for years. It's been great, so you can see your phone outdoors. You see less of your reflection when you're looking at your phone. It's a really good feature, and it's finally here. So outdoor visibility, excellent on this device. The display is beautiful. It's been great for watching videos, been great for just swiping around, scrolling. It is 120 Hertz and it just feels fast and fluid. And it also can go down to 1 Hertz for the always on display, so it doesn't really waste too much battery. So that's the overall design here. Now, there is a bit of a negative that comes along with this form factor being aluminum. It's not really as durable as titanium was. If you dropped your titanium iPhone, which I've done many times, it doesn't really leave any chips or damage in the actual frame. Here on the aluminum, it's definitely going to chip, dent, scratch, and actually have visible damage. But one of the biggest differences going from my 16 Pro Max to this phone is just how slippery and slick this device is in your hand. Like, you take it out of your pocket, it kind of slips around in your hand, and it's hard to get a really good grip on this device, versus this phone, it kind of has this nice stickiness to it, I guess you could say, as well as the stainless steel iPhones as well. So despite this phone being more durable according to Apple in the glass department, it's still going to show some wear and tear on the aluminum. And that's why I recommend checking out a case from today's sponsor, D-Brand. They have their brand new tank case, which has this seriously tactical design that keeps it locked in your hand. And despite it looking really serious and intense, it doesn't really add too much weight or bulk to your phone either. Your phone basically keeps the same thickness, but now it's protected from all angles in an indestructible looking and feeling shell. If I'm out on a crazy shoot with my phone, I have it suction mounted to a car, or I'm holding it filming while I'm biking, I'm going to want to have a case like this on my device just for that extra peace of mind. For a bit of a fun touch, you can also swap out the color of the buttons on this case as well, and the MagSafe on the back is the strongest I've used on any case in ages, keeps your accessories stuck right onto the phone, and of course the case covers like every vulnerable point of your iPhone to prevent any dents, cracks, or damage. And if you want full 360-degree protection, check out one of D-Brand's Prism screen protectors. These are basically foolproof. Like, I always mess up a screen protector install, and with these, I never get it wrong. And D-Brand also has their new Ghost case for a clean, minimal, transparent option that shows off more of the iPhone's design while still keeping it protected. And if you're interested in buying one of these cases, head to my link in the video description or use the coupon code Canoopsy at checkout, where you'll get 42% off a D-Brand Prism screen protector when you buy one of these cases. And look, these are not cheap phones. Apple Care is expensive as well, so if you want to protect your device, check these cases out, and thanks to D-Brand for sponsoring this video. Okay, so we've talked about the design. Let's not put this off any longer. Let's talk about the cameras on this device. It has 3 cameras and also these digital lenses in between. And all 3 of these cameras are 48 megapixels. So there's the ultra wide, there's the wide, there's 2x digital zoom, 4x, which is the telephoto camera, and an 8x digital zoom as well. And you can zoom in up to 40 times digital zoom in photo mode. And just look at these photos, the results speak for themselves. Like the ultra wide camera, I definitely rely on this camera a lot for my day-to-day shoots and work shoots. The primary camera, of course, is beautiful, but I rely a lot on that 2 times zoom, which I use for a lot of my photos. And the 4x telephoto is definitely much better this year. It's crisper, it's clearer, and I know it's not like the 5 times from before, but that's where the 8 times zoom comes in. We're getting these really nice, clear shots, even from really far away. Photos are crisp and clear, colors are beautiful. I feel like shots might be a bit more contrasty this year than previous years, kind of a bit more pixel-like. And of course, across all these cameras, photos are very consistent, looking like it's from one camera with different lenses versus like all these different cameras. And even some of these shots here in low light, photos look pretty good. I mean, these are some really large sensors bringing in a lot of light, so they do a pretty good job. And of course, 4K video up to 120 frames per second also looks beautiful on this device. Stabilization, smooth and natural looking. The colors are beautiful. Dynamic range is crazy on this device. Sharpness is great, autofocus is great. Even in low light or at night, shots also look great. Now, I have noticed those little artifacts popping up from like different lights in the scene. They're a lot more visible this year, I find. It's a little bit annoying, but besides that, video recording here, beautiful on this device. I'm actually shooting some really exciting stuff with this phone that's gonna be coming out very soon, so stay tuned for a much more in-depth video test with this device. The other really big upgrade here is the selfie camera. It's a significantly better camera experience. Not only is it a higher megapixel count so you have more detail, it's also a wider lens, and it's actually a square sensor, so you can actually hold the phone vertically and switch it to a landscape view to get a super wide shot with a lot of people in it. It's a pretty crazy feature. And this feature also does work with video recording as well, so you can hold your phone vertically and shoot a horizontal video in 4K. It's pretty cool. And this is what 4K video from the front-facing camera looks like, and it also has autofocus, so you can bring things nice and close. It's a great front-facing camera. And as you just saw in that clip, the 4K video recording on the front-facing camera is absolutely beautiful. The autofocus is great, and this is going to be definitely very handy for vlogging and just shoots where you're by yourself. No longer do you have to rely on that rear camera on this device when you're shooting videos of yourself. You can use the front-facing camera no problem, and it should look pretty good. There's also this brand new dual capture mode that captures both the front camera and rear camera at the same time. I can also move my little face around over here, show you, what's on my shelf. You can still see me, This feature has been available in third-party apps for a little bit, but it's great to actually have it here in the camera app. So that's the camera experience, and honestly, there is still so much more to cover. There's Open Gate, which is coming soon in the next Final Cut Pro update, a bunch of other cool features as well that you can see on Apple's website. There's also ProRes RAW, and I'm going to test this camera out extensively over the next little while, so in my full review, you're going to see even more samples, even more videos, even more photos, so stay tuned for that. But what about the rest of the phone? Well, there's still a lot more to test out with this device as well. Performance with the A19 Pro, it's fantastic. This phone feels fast and smooth, and also with that vapor chamber, it's going to be able to hold that maximum performance for longer because it keeps the phone nice and cool. There's quite literally water in a super thin, small vapor chamber next to the processor, keeping it nice and cool when you're doing more extensive and intensive things. Whether you're recording a long 4K video, or you're gaming, or you're rendering a video file, it's going to be able to sustain its maximum performance for longer because of this vapor chamber. And also, hopefully, if you use your phone out in the sun a lot like I do, it doesn't overheat as quickly, which would definitely be a great feature. I know some of you have definitely experienced that as well. And also, the processor not having to work as hard should result in better battery life as well. This phone has over a 5,000 milliamp hour battery if you have the eSIM model, of course, and that means it's going to have great battery life. Over 5,000 milliamp hours, the much more efficient processor, the vapor chamber, it's a perfect combination for excellent battery life. And for my testing so far, it's been actually very good. I've been able to get through a full day watching a lot of videos, taking photos and videos, doing emails, social media. Battery life has been quite solid on this device so far. But of course, I'm gonna do a lot more testing as well. But I'm just happy to see that Apple listened to us and gave us a nice, big, thick phone full of battery, and it's up there with some of those other Android devices as well with those massive battery capacities. This is going to be a good year for the iPhone. So far with this 17 Pro Max, I'm liking a lot of what Apple did with this device. The cameras are great, the display is absolutely beautiful. The design definitely is growing on me, but the aluminum is one thing I'm still a little bit iffy on. I'm gonna have to see how it ages over time. But I also asked all of you if you had any questions about this phone, and I'm gonna answer a few of those right now. Can the iPhone Air MagSafe battery pack be used on the 17 Pro Max? Not really, it doesn't really fit because of the large camera bump. You're better off getting like a third-party battery pack, honestly. How big of a jump is the battery life from the 16 Pro Max? Now, I talked a bit about this earlier on in this video, but the combination of that new processor, which is much more efficient, the vapor chamber, the larger battery, it's only going to do good things, and hopefully long term with some of those new settings that Apple's added with iOS 26 for adaptive battery use will make your battery last longer throughout the day and also longer long term. Does it feel as premium in the hand like its predecessor with titanium or stainless steel? I love the titanium iPhones, I love the stainless steel iPhones, but the stainless steel was very heavy, it scratched very easily. The titanium was honestly perfect. It was lightweight, it was super durable, and I really liked it, honestly. It has a nice weight to it, but doesn't really feel as premium and polished like the titanium does. The iPhone Air, for example, feels a lot more premium and it feels more like a piece of jewelry. This feels like a serious piece of technology meant for doing things. And I think that's what Apple's goal here is, to differentiate the Pro from the Air. The Air is like the pretty phone, it's beautiful, it's like a piece of jewelry. This is for getting shit done. Should I switch from the 16 Pro, the 13 Pro, older iPhones? 13 Pro and lower, definitely consider it. 16 Pro, there's no point to upgrade. Those are still excellent devices with great cameras, good battery life, beautiful displays, nice design, all those things. This is going to be an upgrade in some ways, but honestly, I feel like you're still good with the 16 Pro series. Are you going to daily the Max or the Pro? Honestly, I'm going to go with the Max. I love the battery life. I love the massive display. I like a big phone, honestly. I don't mind it. One of these years, though, I'm going to go with the Pro and see what happens, but I'm all in on the Pro Max. How tough is the back from scratches and damage? The aluminum, as I mentioned, it's gonna chip, it's gonna show some wear here and there if you drop it on like concrete, for example, but this like back glass, it's definitely very durable. It's actually like a ceramic infused glass situation, so it's gonna be very resistant to scratches and drops as well, as it is kind of protected by the aluminum frame. So I wouldn't really be too worried about this glass part in the back over here. I'd be more so worried about the aluminum, but we're gonna have to see. So why go for the iPhone 17 Pro over the regular iPhone 17 this year? That's honestly a very good question. The iPhone 17 is excellent this year as like the base model iPhone. The cameras are fantastic, the display is great, the new colors this year are also really nice as well. There are only really a few reasons why you choose the 17 Pro over the 17 in my opinion. The first reason being the design. Maybe you prefer this like crazy extreme iPhone design, maybe you like these color choices a lot more, I don't know. Maybe you want the option of a bigger screen device because you only get the regular 17 this year, no Plus model, so that could be a reason. reason. The cameras are definitely a reason. You get that telephoto camera, which I rely on personally a lot. Beyond just the 2x zoom, having a 4x zoom is an excellent feature. But like besides that, you're really not missing much going with the iPhone 17. Obviously it doesn't look like a brand new phone, it looks like last year's iPhone 16, but if that doesn't matter to you, it's probably the best iPhone you can buy. Thank you all for sending some great questions through, and I hope to answer more of them in my full review. So that's the iPhone 17 Pro Max 48 hours later. This is definitely a very interesting iPhone. More videos on the way as well. Full review, day in the life, it's all coming soon. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss those videos. Like this video if you liked it. And of course, thank you for watching.